One good day sets you up to have a great week. One great week sets you up to have a great month. One great month sets you up to have a great year.
Greetings, gentle ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Bitcoin Master with the AI Global Legends, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today is Get Hype Thursday, Motivational Thursday. We got Michael Diamond in the building. We got Steve Niken showing up to grow up, John M.B. We got Dr. Christopher Rice. We got Betsy. We got John Young in here, guys. We got all the leaders showing up to enhance their mindset. 10x that mindset, guys. That's what it's all about today on this great Thursday, guys. So what we'd like to do is we always like to meet up on Thursday at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time and just inject ourselves with mindset jewels, inspiration, all types of things. I heard a guy today, he said, you know what? I'm not easily motivated, but when I heard Michael Diamond, I got so motivated that, he jumped off the Zoom and he had to go make some videos himself and just go. So he was like all in. So Diamond likes to put fires under people. He's certainly got a fire under me right now, guys. And, this is the season right now. Okay, the season is 10x your mindset, enhance your brain cells, enhance your energy levels, and just be able to perform at peak, So that's what we have these calls for, to help the team rejuvenate, get back in the saddle, and just go full force like Delta Force, So again, guys, my name is Mansa Jamil. I've been in this crypto space since 2015. And I seen the roller coaster ride, ups and downs. I done bumped my head and I made a fortune in this space, guys. So now we're at it again. We're getting ready to make 100 millionaires on this team here in the next 90 days, guys. So that's our goal, 90 days, exactly. I said 90, okay? If it take a 91, it's okay, all right? It's all right. But I had the pleasure to meet Mr. Michael Diamond 22 years ago in the insurance field, okay? And quick story about Michael Diamond. For those that missed the story, I love to tell the story. I was working bell to bell in the insurance space, right? A multi-million-dollar insurance company. And, I was the number one insurance agent in the office. It was about 10 of us. So Michael Diamond came in, suited and booted like you see him today, with a silver briefcase in his hand. And he goes, "Who's the number one agent in here?" And I couldn't wait to say, "Me, I'm number one." He goes, "Well, get ready to be number two." I was like, what the, is this guy serious? And he was like, "Get ready to be number two," and walk right past me to the manager's office, right? So I'm like, oh no, who's this guy? We all looking at each other like, you see this dude, right? So the next day he ended up getting the job. The next day he comes in there, put his roses on the table. He put his Bible on the table. He got his cufflinks on. He put that briefcase on the table. I'm like, what's in that briefcase? So everybody watching him, and we trying to see what's in that briefcase, right? He got some like miracle sales potion in that bad boy. He got a bunch of gold in that bad boy. What do you got in there, right? So we all watching, right? Before you know it, he pops open that briefcase, man, come out with his pen and pad, and he hiding something up in there. I know he hiding something up in there, right? So he didn't want everybody to see it. But anyway, he closed that bad boy real quick and got on the phone. And before you know it, the whole lobby was filled with clients asking for Michael Diamond. And nobody's at my desk anymore, right? He's taking all the calls. He's closing all the deals. And I'm listening real close, right? And he goes, Jay, you got to say okie dokie every now and again. I'm like, okie dokie? He's like, yeah, you got to throw a little okie dokie in there every now and again. So then I start saying okie dokie every now and again, right? Before you know it, boom, my sales started coming up. I started believing and achieving and receiving all the blessings that's coming along with it. Just being a people's person, this guy has changed my life, guys. I haven't looked back, and I kept him in a headlock as my big brother, okay? I won't let him go, guys. So without any further ado, international motivational speaker, master sales trainer, and expert at personal development, my big brother, Mr. Michael Diamond. Michael, how you doing today?
I'm doing blessed and highly favored. Thank you, Master Jamil. Thank you so much. That was so powerful. I'm going to call that guy, Michael Diamond, and have him come in because that was way too much, man. That was way
It's a
too
true
much.
story, man. It's a true story.
No, right, it is. It is. It's a factual, true story. And I just want you to know, man, I love you. You know, Master Jamil, for 22 years. You're my little brother, man. I love you. We've been speaking into each other's lives, man. I've been sharing gold nuggets and diamonds with you. And I'll tell you, man, you are the apple of my eye as a best friend and little brother, man. I'm telling you, I'm so proud of you. Most importantly is that in 22 years, Master Jamil has never lied to me, never attempted to manipulate me. And that in itself is a diamond because that is just so irregular. And I just want you to say, I love you for your character, the fact that you are a consummate man of God, unequivocally a powerful father, family man, dad, all those different things, man, that I see in you are absolutely incredible. And one of the things that I can say without question, unequivocally, is that your character is impeccable. And your work ethic, your character is impeccable. And it's what sets you aside from the pack. You know, we shared this together, and that is that if you put two consummate, competent, capable individuals together, what will separate them, in my opinion, is discipline and the anointing. The anointing first. And Master Jamil, you have an anointing on your life. I love you. I'm proud of you. And I just want to say it's an honor to still be in relationship as my little brother, man. Just know that I love you and I'm proud of you. So I just want to say thank you for showing up to grow up. The water's fine. Let's jump in. I want to say, like I do every week, it's essential that today is our day. I have decreed and declared that September is Miracle September, that breakthroughs and shattering blessings are going to happen to everyone that's a member of this community. Know that I'm standing in the gap for you, and I like to start every meeting by reminding you that you are invincible, unstoppable, too powerful to be defeated, too powerful to be overcome. You are incapable of being conquered, defeated, subdued. You are more than a conqueror. You are a champion. Let's get going. Let's start on Motivational Thursdays. It's time to 10x your mindset. We're going to lean forward today. We're going to cut the velvet rope. We're going in the back, in the VIP section. We're going to take what's entitled to us. We're going to shatter through our glass ceiling, reach in the lion's mouth, and take what belongs to us. I spend a lot of time with God. I want you guys to know that I'm so in love with God. I spend a lot of time with God, and today He's given me this title, which is so appropriate and indicative of where we're going and where He's taken us. It's an entitled Release the Blessing. It's time to release the blessing. You see, all of this reminds me of a story in the Old Testament in Numbers 20:8, where they had found themselves in a situation where Moses had led the children out of wilderness. He had led the children from Egypt. God had showed miracle after miracle after miracle, like He's done in your life. And he kept breaking through, feeding them manna, a cloud, a pillar by day, fire by night, just miracle after miracle, like the miracle in your life. The fact that you woke up today is a miracle. And so in Numbers 20 and verse 8, they find themselves, the community finds themselves without water. And like so many people, they begin to murmur. They begin to complain, like, why did we leave Egypt? Why are we here? Why are we in this situation? Why? Like some of you might find yourself in peculiar situations, and the first instinct is to complain. And so what happened was God told Moses, gather the community, like Master Jamil has gathered you. God told him, gather the community like we are today. And He said, I want you to speak to the rock. And miraculously, water is going to come out of the rock. In other words, the blessing to provide for the people was in Moses' mouth. And God told Moses to speak to the rock. Like God is telling you, the blessing is in your mouth. Whatever it is you need, Whatever your situation is, whatever you're confronted with, release the blessing. But because Moses was frustrated and irritated and tired and dealing with depression and anxiety with a stiff-necked people, like maybe you might be wrestling with depression and anxiety, dealing with a stiff-necked people. Maybe you might be challenged because the clients that you're trying to get to the water so they can drink and transform their world are not listening to you. And so Moses was frustrated. Instead of doing what God told him to do, he took the rod and hit the rock twice, and the water gushed out. But God had put them in a situation where he wanted them to see a miraculous miracle. He set them up and gathered the community and told Moses, speak to the rock. I want you to know today, ladies and gentlemen, as we jump into this series, release the blessing, that the blessing was in Moses' mouth. All he had to do, ladies and gentlemen, was speak to the rock and water was going to come out. I am here to share with you that your blessing is in your mouth. All you have to do is speak to your situation. I want you today, I'm under commandment to instruct you to gather everything under your influence, to speak the blessing that September and the rest of this year. I'm gonna teach on advanced sales, interpersonal communication skills, the psychology of sales, the psychology of interpersonal communication, what makes people make decisions, what makes people drag on making decisions. We're gonna cover a lot. But before we jump into Miracle September, we've got to get this down in our spirit. I want you to get this down in your spirit because Jehovah El Shaddai has me here on an appointment because his all sufficiency is more than capable of superseding all natural events. He is more than enough to meet your needs in each situation. And I've been instructed to tell you, speak to your rock, release the blessing out of your mouth. In other words, all the people were waiting to hear from Moses that day, like your team members, like your family. It's time to gather your family together. It's time to gather everything under your influence together and to release the blessing and to call those things that be not. All of that makes me think of Romans 4:17. Even God who quickeneth the dead, Romans 4:18, even God who quickeneth the dead, and calleth those things that be not as though they were. Ladies and gentlemen, today is time for you to call those things that be not as though they were. You're dealing with some sickness in your life, speak to it. The blessing is in your mouth. Isaiah 53:5. He was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes I am healed. You are healed. We are commanded to release the blessing out of our mouth. That's why Proverbs 18:21 says, death and life is in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Ladies and gentlemen, in your mouth is the blessing. And today, earmark this day. I have been telling my team, I've been telling everyone under my influence that September is supernatural September. It's miracle September. I want you to get that in your spirit as we move forward, as we cut the velvet tape, as we go in the back into the PIP section. Remember today, get it in your spirit, that it's time to release the blessing. You know, all of this reminds me of a situation where I was doing campaign management down in Oakland, California. I was supervising about 100 people at the time, and I was the star there. You know, wherever you're at, it should be popping because you got the anointing on you. Wherever you at, you should have a spirit of expectation that you're the number one person in the room. Just like Mensa Jamil tells that story, that was 22 years ago, and I refuse to let go of that aggressive, progressive mindset that I am number one at everything I put my hands to. Remember that you're not in a race with anyone else. You're not racing with anyone else. You will become VIP. I want you to get that in your spirit and get it in your mouth. You will be VIP 5. The blessing is in your mouth. Release the blessing. Your sales will increase by 30%, 40%, 50% when you release the blessing every day. when you get up, release the blessing. Repetitive, repetitive, repetitive. Keep repeating it over and over. You know, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I was supervising down in Oakland, California, out of Hagerberger Lane, and I was responsible for 100 employees at the time, and I got an emergency phone call. I ran to the phone. They said, hey, Diamond, you got an emergency phone call. Well, when I went to the phone call, a woman was on the phone telling me, there's this little kid that's out in the street. He's bleeding. He's bleeding everywhere. And all the family said, it's your son. And I said, wait a minute, I'm like a Kool-Aid dad. And maybe, you know, the people thought it said, listen, I don't know if you're a Kool-Aid dad or you're a beer dad. I just want you to know this. There's a little kid out in the street bleeding that's been hit by a car and drugged 50 feet, and you need to get here. Like you might be saying to yourself, I was frantic. My mind was going mad. I mean, every horrible imagination was flooding my mind. Like maybe you might be dealing with some adverse situations. I ran back to the organization and told them, look, I'm going to have to leave. Before I could get out of the building, I got a second phone call. It was my oldest son. He started crying. He said, Dad, my dad was in the street, Dad. Dad, the car hit him and drug him down the street. He's bleeding everywhere, Dad. He's bleeding. He's bleeding. You got to get here right now, Dad. You got to get here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I almost fell out right there. I mean, I almost fell out. My oldest son was crying. He was about 10 or 12 at the time. My youngest son was 8. I rushed out the building. I'm running down the street and I was frantic. I was stressed out. I was dealing with a lot of adversity. I was dealing with challenges. I was under pressure. That was back a long time ago. And I'm telling you, I was stressed. And what I did is what I'm asking you to do now, what I've been instructed to tell you to do now. You might be in a situation where you're dealing with some negative people. You might be in a situation where you're dealing with the worst situation in your life. You might be homeless. You might be in a situation where everything looks bleak, just like the children of Israel. They were starving. They were thirsty. They had no water. Their livestock had no water. And God told them what he told me to tell you. Release the blessing. So as I was going down the road, I kept thinking to myself, is my son going to be a vegetable? Is my son going to die on me? And I'm telling you, a spiritual indignation rose in me like I wanted to rise in you. And I started speaking to my situation. I said, no, Isaiah 54:17, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Every tongue that rises up against me falsely shall utterly be destroyed. I stood on the word, Hebrews 1:14. Ministering angels are sent to minister to the heirs of salvation. I started charging ministering angels under that situation. That's what I want you to do. I want you to understand that no matter what you're dealing with, you pronounce the blessing. No matter how horrific, how crazy, how ridiculous the situation looks, release the blessing. I started speaking that word over my son. I started speaking that situation, and I was confronted. You know, ladies and gentlemen, in your everyday life, I truly believe that situations and circumstances occur in our life to challenge us to see what we're going to say. Because the enemy knows that in your mouth is the blessing. He knows that it's time, anytime you speak, because once you've been blessed, you can't be cursed. So you are a blessed people. And I'm telling you, AI Global and everywhere around the world that you can hear my voice, in Australia, China, Jamaica, south of France, San Francisco, Sacramento, LA, where you can hear my voice, it's time for you to release the blessing. So I'm gunning down the freeway. By the time I get to the site where my son is at, all I see is blood over everywhere, just blood all over the street. And there's this big crowd and they scream out to me, he's already gone. They took him to Children's Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm from San Francisco. I had got a promotion down to Oakland to head an entire division to do campaign management for the Democratic Party. I didn't really know where I was. So I jumped back on the freeway. I'm running on the freeway. I'm rolling the window down, asking people, where is Children's Hospital? And I'm telling you, it took everything inside of me to stay calm, cool, and collected. You know, when you're going through a tough time, the easy thing to do, the common thing to do is complain. When you're going through a tough time, like you might be going through a tough time, Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to release the blessing. It's in your mouth. Remember, Jeremiah 32:27 says, behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? I was crying out, God, I know nothing's too hard for you. Save my son, save my situation. Like I want you to do over your family. I've been instructed to tell you, gather your family together and release the blessing over them. Pronounce the blessing. Let them know, like Deuteronomy 28:1, and he's put you on a high place because you're living right. And the blessings are overtaking you. That you're blessed in the city, blessed in the field, blessed coming in and blessed going out. And everything you touch is blessed. See, when you say that, you're releasing the blessing. When you say that my enemies come at me one way and I see them flee 7 different ways. When you say those words, you're releasing blessing. The fruit of your body is blessed. He's filled your house with good. He's blessed your storehouse. Everything you touch is blessed. You're the head and not the tail, the lender and not the borrower. I'm here to tell you that you are blessed. It's time for you to release the blessing. I remember when I got to the hospital, they had a security waiting for me. They had a psychologist. They had a therapist waiting for me. Now, when they saw the therapist, I thought to myself, oh my God, it's got to be horrible. They got a therapist and a sheriff waiting for me. They thought this brother was about to lose it. They thought I was about to get thuggish up in this place. I'm telling you, I was looking for the man that ran my son over. I said, Lord, don't let me see him. Please don't let me see him. So I had to speak the blessing. I said, I forgive him. That's okay. Whatever happened, just make sure my son is all right. And that's key right there. That's a diamond. You got to make sure that you're not holding grudges. When you release the blessing, you got to forgive everybody. Now, that's a gold nugget because that's difficult to do. That's the challenge. In fact, God goes on to say that he's not even hearing your prayers unless you forgive everybody. So forgive everybody and love everybody because you can't sell nothing to nobody unless you love everybody. So there I am at the hospital. I'm waiting for the blessing like you're waiting for the blessing. Maybe you've got a loved one that's sick right now and your mind is going crazy. Maybe you're under torment and you're under attack. Maybe your sales aren't where you want them to be. Maybe you see yourself here, but you're there and you don't know what's going to bridge the gap. Release the blessing. That's what's going to bridge the gap. They finally rolled my son out. His skin was peeled off because when the car smashed into him, he threw his hands back. The ground rubbed all the skin, just burnt the skin off his face, his hands. His mouth was busted open. His eyes was bleeding. He looked at me and he said, Dad, do you still love me? I'm telling you, it took everything in me not to burst out in tears. I had a tear running down my eye. I said, boy, I love you. I love you. And I found out that day that he didn't have one broken bone. He didn't have one fracture. I'm telling you, angelic angels did as I had requested. I'm here to tell you under assignment that you speak your blessing. Release the blessing. We talked before. Declare the victory. Speak to your mountain and release the blessing. That young man now is incredibly successful and has gone on to live his life because I released the blessing, because of the goodness of God. Your success this month is going to be contingent on you releasing the blessing. Having a situation going on that's uncomfortable for you, speak to that situation and release the blessing. Situations happening that you don't understand, remember Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. You are a blessed man or woman, and I'm telling you, everything you touch is blessed. I want you to gather your family, gather your team. Your team is waiting and depending on you to release the blessing. As we see in Mansa Jamil, he's constantly releasing the blessing. He's constantly feeding the community. He's constantly feeding the team. You, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to release your blessing. You know, all of that reminds me of when I took a fall back in 2006, 7, 8, 9. I was earning $50,000 a month. I was earning $50,000 a month, had 30 employees, and then the market crashed. I was so broke, I couldn't pay attention. like maybe you've been before. I was under so much stress that one late night, I was coming down South Watt. I was on a back street, like maybe you've been on a back street before. I was pushing it, like maybe you pushed it on a back street before. I was in a head-on collision with a BMW truck, one of those minivan type things. The thing hit me so hard, the vehicle hit me so hard, I still don't remember what happened. All I know is it spun me around 7 times. The windshield busted in my face. At the time of the accident, my phone was plugged in to the charger, and it was spinning around in the air. It was ringing. It was ringing. The windshield had busted in my face. When they got me out of the car, they thought I was beheaded. They thought I had been decapitated. You know, unequivocally, unapologetically, immediately I started speaking to that situation. They was taking me to the hospital, and I said, I'm the heel. I'm gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be all right. When I got to the hospital, all my children were around the table. They said, Dad, are you okay? Is everything all right? I told them, I'm gonna be all right. I'm blessed. I'm healed. I'm gonna be okay. In your worst of times, you got to speak and release the blessing. The blessing is in your mouth. You want your team to grow? Start telling your team, hypothetically, tell them, little Sally, you gonna help 5 families this week. She gonna say, really? I don't, yes, I'm believing you're gonna help 5 families. You gotta tell your team, you gotta speak to your team and get your team together and tell them that this is gonna be a record-breaking month for them, because they need the reassurance. You see, we all need the reassurance from time to time. And I'm on an appointment to share with you that it's time to release the blessing. It came back. I came back. I was out for 30 days. They thought I was going to be paralyzed. They thought out my face I wouldn't see no more. The windshield had busted in my face. And glory be to God. I'm telling you, I didn't break one bone. That glass could have put my eyes out. That glass could have slivered my throat. But I'm a tither and a giver. I'm a blessed man. I am blessed and highly favored. And I'm telling you unapologetically, don't you apologize for being blessed. Don't you apologize for being great. If you're going to see greatness one day, it's because you're speaking greatness over your life. If you're going to see massive increase, it's because you're speaking it over your life. There's a reason God told him in Joel 3:10, let the weak say I'm strong, because it releases the blessing. You got to release the blessing to say, no, I'm blessed. No, you might be dealing with the worst situation of your life. You may have someone in your life that is so negative and so offbeat that you have to let them go. See, everybody is not designed to go into the promised land. Everybody's not made to go into the promised land with you. Oftentimes, when we want the most for people to chime in, they don't. Sometimes the people you believe in the most for can help you out. They don't. Sometimes you have a spouse who doesn't see it. Release the blessing over her. Sometimes you have team members that are struggling and they really need someone to help them. Remember what I said to you. Picasso said, everything you can imagine is real. Picasso said, everything you can imagine is real. I talked to you before about Michelangelo. He said, I saw the angel in the marble and carved until I set him free. He said, I saw the angel in the marble. What is your marble? The marble is the blessing. You release that blessing like Michelangelo did, like Picasso said. If you can imagine it, it's real. Just remember that you got to think universal abundance. You've got to think that this is your time. You've got to remember Proverbs 18 and you got to remember Proverbs 16 and 23. It says, the heart of the wise teacheth his mouth. You know, you might say, Michael, it's uncomfortable for me to say these things because, you know, I'm a very shy person. I'm not outgoing this way. Well, the last part of Proverbs 16 and 23 says, the heart of the wise teacheth his mouth and addeth learning to his lips. See, you got to teach your mouth. that in every situation when you normally might say, this is getting on my dang nerves. Oh my gosh, you're making me sick. I can't deal with this no more. Say, you know what? Instead of saying that, you teach your mouth. Given these situations, I see that all things work. Romans 8:28, all things work together for good for those that love the Lord and are called according to their purpose. All things work together for good for me because I'm blessed. You got to teach yourself how to speak the blessing. Remember, out of your mouth is only coming two things, life or death, or God is a liar. So, and it's impossible for God to lie. Numbers 23:19, God is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. And if he said it, he's going to do it. And once he blesses, he cannot reverse. So I'm here to tell you that you are a blessing. You are the righteous. You can do this thing. It's time for you to release the blessing over your life. You release the blessing over your day. Release the blessing over your circumstances. Release the blessing over your corporation. Release the blessing over your sales team. Release the blessing over your office. Release the blessing over everything in your control or influence. Release the blessing over your children. Release the blessing over your finances. Every day, I speak to my finances and I say, my finances are increasing exponentially. Income is coming from unexpected areas. Remember that I'm speaking the right words at the right time to be effective and super successful in every area of my life. You got to speak the blessing. That's your responsibility over your team, over your family, over your situation, and over your circumstances. It's time for you to release the blessing. All of this makes me think of Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela went to prison for 27 years for absolutely no crime. He was helping in the apartheid families that were getting murdered. Nelson Mandela had been in prison for 20 plus years. He was interviewed and they said to him, they asked him, I said, well, you have to be upset. I mean, you have to be angry. You have to be miserable that you've been in prison for 27 years for something 20 years you haven't even done. He said, no, I'm not upset and I'm not angry. In fact, I feel good about it. I'm actually happy that it happened to me. Matiba, in jail 20 years. This is him releasing the blessing. He said, no, actually, I'm grateful that it happened. It gave me an opportunity to find myself. And I know that great things will happen to me. Great things will happen for me. Nelson Mandela, that was a pivotal point in his life. The fact that he had given and he had the character to forgive those that wrongfully imprisoned him for 20 years. Now, that's a whole lot of character right there. 20 years in prison and said, no, I'm not upset. I'm not angry. I forgive them. Nelson Mandela came out of prison and was the first president after the apartheid came out in South Africa and received award after award after award. And I truly believe that that was a pivotal moment in his life, like you, like when I was sleeping in my car and I had lost it all. I mean, I remember standing in that mirror after the accident and my team was saying, what are we going to do now? Everyone had quit. I was down from 30 people down to 2. Sometimes all the resources get reduced and wiped out. So you can't take no credit. So all the glory is God. Sometimes you're just so knocked out. You're just tired. You're so sick and tired. You're sick and tired of sick and tired. But don't you say that. You speak to that situation and release the blessing. I'm telling you, my team said to me, all of 2 people, one who was handicapped, bless her heart, who couldn't really get around that much. She said, Diamond, what are we going to do now? I said, we're about to have a record-shattering month. Everything is going to be all right. And when I shut that door and went in my office, they had a big glow on their face. They were like, oh, this is great. Everything's going to be all right. I'm telling you, I broke into tears. You might be in a situation where you are crying. You might be in a situation like me. You might be in a situation where you've had to wrestle with depression and anxiety and fear like me. Maybe you've been in a situation where everything is falling apart for you and you're doing the song and dance for everybody. Everybody thinks everything's okay in your life, but you know you're under attack. I'm on assignment to tell you today, release a blessing. Speak positivity, speak life, like we shared last week. I speak this over my mind every day because scientists have discovered that we only use, even geniuses use under 10% of their brain, and we only understand 3% of our DNA. So that 97% of your DNA is waiting for you to activate it. And with that knowledge, I began to speak over my life. What I spoke over my life this day, the dormant 97% of my DNA has been activated. I now have full access to the full potential of my DNA and full access to the full potential of my brain. You speak to your situation. You call greatness out of you. You call those things that be not as though they were. You call the blessing into your life. Don't let those situations and circumstances dominate you. I'll never forget, after the accident, when I got back, people have been stealing. The building was pretty much in shambles. I was standing there. It was a rainy day. I was looking out the window, and I fully got a full comprehension of what they meant when they said window pane. As I'm looking at the window and I'm feeling the pain, I'm looking out the window pane, and I spoke to that situation, and I charged angelic angels to go forth and bring in those financial blessings. I decreed and declare, and I'm telling you, breakthrough's going to happen like you need to do. See, your team members may not have a powerful dad or a leader like you. They may not have an encouraging force like you to speak into their lives. So you have to be the one to speak into their lives. You tell them this is going to be their miracle September, that they're going to have the best success and the best month they ever had. You know, being the top producer in 3 multi-million-dollar corporations and the top producer in 3 multi-billion-dollar corporations, I can relate this information to you and share this unequivocally, unapologetically. Some of my best days, although I spoke my success into existence, I released the blessing. And I'm telling you, God honored his word. But some of the great days of my sales career was when a manager walked by my desk and said, "You're going to have a big day today, Michael. I can feel it. You're going to have a big day today. I feel it. I feel it down in here. You're going to have a big day." You know, there's something great about, you know, the affirmation of someone else that you respect, that sees something you don't see. Today, your wife, your family, your children, all that's under your influence is waiting for you to speak success into their life. All of your family, all of you that's under your influence, the Hyperfund team, everyone is there to help you speak success into your life. So if you can hear my voice, just remember that it's possible, that you can live your dream, that it's time for you to release the blessing. It's time for you to call those things that be not as though they were. It's time for you to release the blessing. Moses was hard-headed. Will you be hard-headed? Moses didn't listen to God. How about you? It's time for you to speak to the rock. God wanted to do something miraculous, and he told Moses that I want you to gather the whole community in Numbers 20 and 8. I want you to gather the community and speak to that rock, and I'm going to have water gush out of it. I'm challenging you today as we wrap up to look at the circumstances in your life. Look at your family. Look at your wife. Look at your children. Look at your husband. Look at the team that God has blessed you with, and pronounce and release the blessing. From this day forward, I am pronouncing the blessing over you, that this is going to be the most productive, the most successful 4 months of your life. I speak supernatural breakthrough over you. I speak supernatural multiplication, like Hebrews 6 and 13. Now, when God made promise to Abraham, He could swear by no greater. So he swore by himself, saying, surely blessing I will bless thee, and multiplying I will multiply thee. It's time for you to be blessed and multiplied and blessed, multiplied and blessed. See, God's not into addition, he's into multiplication. So it's time for you to be multiplied. It's time for you that you're taking the right actions at the right time to be effective and super successful in every area of your life. It's time for you to shatter through your glass ceiling, reach in the lion's mouth, and take what belongs to you. It was about 90 days later, after that horrific situation of me speaking the word. And I'm here to tell you that manifestation came to pass. I ended up receiving 7 suites downtown on Chase Street, one of the most popular streets, and success continued. God skyrocketed me back, restored me. So just know that I'm praying for you every day. I speak restoration over your life, and I decree and declare that this is your season, this is your time, and you're in a zone, that you're speaking the right words at the right time to be effective and super successful in every area of your life. It's time for you to release blessing. Remember, when any situation confronts you, it has one thing in mind. It's waiting for you to speak to it. When your situation speaks to you, you speak to it. When anything speaks to you, you release the blessing. When you speak positivity, when you speak life over your situation, you are releasing the blessing. And I want you to remember that you are invincible, unstoppable, too powerful to be defeated, too powerful to be overcome. You are incapable of being conquered, defeated, subdued. You are more than a conqueror. I want you to aim high and go for it. Let September be a miracle month for you. Remember that you are a symbol of possibility. You are a reflection of the universe. You represent universal abundance. So today, remember, it's time for you to release the blessing over your life, your family, your business, your finances, and every area of your life. And join me from Singapore to South Korea, from the south of France to New York, to the Bronx, Compton, around the world. Join me in releasing the blessing, shattering through your glass ceiling, reaching in the lion's mouth, and taking what belongs to you. In closing, I want to share with you that you are a compilation of what you speak. You're ready to lose weight? Speak to that mountain. Release the blessing. You want your finances to increase? Release the blessing. You're looking for a miracle? It's in your mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud of you. I've got confidence in you. I believe in you. This is your season. This is your time. You're in a zone. I want you to break out. I want you to shatter through your glass ceiling, reach in the lion's mouth, take what belongs to you. Speak to your world, create your world. Remember that you are world overcomers, that you are big enough to do it. It's time for you to play a bigger game. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Michael Diamond, international motivational speaker, master sales trainer, and expert in personal development. And I'll see you in the winner's circle.
Amazing, Michael Diamond. Really appreciate those diamond drops. The chats are going crazy, guys, all over the place. YouTube, Facebook, here. Oh my gosh. Why don't you guys show some love to Michael Diamond, guys? Unmute yourself and show some love.
Blessings, Michael. Give thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Holla, holla.
Massive gratitude.
Thank you.
Thank you
You
are so welcome. Thank you. You are so welcome. Thank you very much. Release your blessing. Release your blessing. Release the blessing.
I received that.
I want to take what's that?
I said I received that.
Right on. There we go. That's what I want to hear. Thank you.
If you guys got any questions for Mr. Diamond, go ahead and put 777 in the chat. We're gonna bring you on the panel. 777 in the chat, and we'll go ahead and activate you on the panel. Don't be shy.
I want to hear how Release the Blessing has touched any of you.
All right, so if you guys, okay, we got Malik Amir. Let's go ahead and bring him on the panel. Malik, there you go. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Michael, man, I just wanted to tell you, thank you, man. This message was very well received, you know, and it's obviously not the first time that I've heard you, but you dropped some diamonds today, man. All I can say is I love how you put this package together when you started off talking about Moses, and that really was something that was, inspiring, telling that story. And when he was asked to speak to the rock, people got to question yourself. If God asked you to speak to a rock and, told you that water was going to gush out, would you believe in that? Right. And this is a testament to the belief that you have to have and the faith that you have to be super successful in every area of your life. So I really love how you packaged this together, man. You hit us hard with some scriptures today. You told some amazing stories that really touched my heart. And I just wanted to say, I appreciate you. And man, I'm going to be speaking my blessings for real.
Malik, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. I got a lot of love for you. I'm so proud of you. A lot of people, Malik, I opened up with that story regarding Moses because, the Most High God told me that. And I wanted to be obedient because sometimes, you want to talk about other stuff and God will interrupt it because he's doing something in your lives. And he's using me as a vehicle. See, a lot of people think, just out of story tales, that it was Moses that brought the people into the promised land. It wasn't. It was Joshua. Because Moses disobeyed God, because Moses was so used to doing things his way, and he didn't, it was too uncomfortable, it was too crazy to think that if he spoke to the rock, water was going to gush out. So he didn't do it. And so therefore, God didn't let him go into the promised land. So Moses and Aaron didn't get to go in the promised land because they didn't obey. They didn't speak to their rock. And I'm telling you today, you got to speak to your circumstances. You got to speak to them. Everywhere in your life, you're there because you made an appointment to be there based on what you're saying and what you're thinking. So thank you, Malik. I really appreciate that feedback. That's powerful because we all time forget that the blessing is in our mouth, and it's time to release the blessing. Thank you, Malik. And that's why you were the first one on the team to hit expert, because you're putting into play the blessings that are coming before you. I appreciate you, Malik. Thank you, sir.
All right. Appreciate that, Malik. Power. We got John Young on the panel. Go ahead, John Young. Unmute yourself.
So why you make me so excitingly anxious every time, Mr. Diamond? I love it, man. And, so for me, it was a solid reminder because I know the power of the King of Kings. The King of Kings. And, a lot of times people don't speak to their rock because they don't believe. And if you know that God has blessed you, you got to know then if God has blessed you, then you already have access to it. So that's the reminder that you gave me, man. It's just like, dude, because sometimes, you may know it, but to be reminded that all you have to do, man, like he's already gave it to you. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not yet seen.
Yes.
So it's like, it's already yours just because you don't see it right now. It's yours already. So just walk like it is already yours. So that's how you motivated me, man. It's just like a solid reminder that, like, dude, we're powerful. So because we're made in his image and we are his children, so yeah, that was good. So that's all I had to say.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that, man. Much love to you. I'm proud of you. And that's so indicative of what you said. He didn't believe it. What hurt the heart of God with the situation with Moses is he didn't do it because he didn't believe it. And so oftentimes, like, we don't speak to our day because we're letting the day dictate to us instead of us dictating to the day. We don't speak to the weak because we're letting the weak dictate to us instead of us dictating to the weak. As professionals, you should have a goal for your day, your week, your month, and your year. One good day sets you up to have a great week. One great week sets you up to have a great month. One great month sets you up to have a great year. So we gotta, when you've been in the sales arena a long time, first thing they want to know is, what is your goal for the month? What's your goal? What are you speaking into reality? So you have to remember, you're responsible for releasing the blessing over your day. Today is going to be a great day. I don't care if monkeys are running across the street and all of them got tambourines and hi-hats on. I'm having a great day. I'm having a great day. I'm having a blessed day. That's why I wake each morning. And I say each day, I wake full of energy and vitality, anxious to enjoy another day. Even if I didn't get sleep that night and my flesh is telling me, you lying, you just as tired as a mule out in the Mojave Desert. So we do have to trust that in our mouth is the blessing. It's time to release the blessing. You're right, John. God bless you, man.
Oh, wow. Powerful. Release the blessing. Guys, we got 9 minutes to go. Who else want to go ahead and hop on the panel and share some kind words to Mr. Diamond? And I think
I want to hear how this message may have impacted you, small or great.
Release the blessing from Lily. Thank you for showing up, Lily. Powerful, powerful. Anyone else?
You already know I gotta hop in here. This is
right.
John MB, and
That's John.
John MB, where you at? Let's add you to the
thank
panel.
you, my brother.
Hold on 1 second, John. Let me find you here. Let me add you in here real quick. John, unmute yourself.
You good? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Mr. Diamond, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for showing up and meeting with us today. And every time we do this Thursday movement, because honestly, this message has impacted me and reminded me also that from thought to thing, so it be. What we receive, we got to transmute. We got to hold on and stay on our square. Hold on to our faith. No matter what material thing presented to us in front of our face, it's only a reflection of what's going on inside of us. And it's a process of transmutation for our divine purpose. And as long as we stay focused, vectored on that purpose with faith, we're going to be all right. And especially when we link arms with like minds and diamonds like yourself. You know what I mean? We all are that. We all are something special and unique in this world. You know what I'm saying? And it's really time. It's that time that in God's divine plan, according to the stars, it's that time for us to rise and link arms together and win, and just win. You know what I'm saying? Love each other. That's where it comes from. You know what I mean? Love and faith, baby. And I appreciate you giving time to this message. You know what I'm saying? And every time, man, it's just so beautiful to see you, and it's beautiful to talk with you, man. It's beautiful to hear your words, because honestly, the words that you gave me over a year ago changed my life, brother. It changed my life, bro. I'm speaking the right words at the right time to be effective and super successful in every area of my life. The dormant 97% of my brain has been activated, and I have full access to the usage and potential of my brain and my DNA. What's that?
Yes.
The whole universe, baby. We created in God's image. Each and every one of us. Love and light all the time. San Diego strong. We out here. AIGL, baby.
Love it, man. AI Global for life, man.
You know,
I love it, man. John, man, I love it, man. I love you. I'm proud of you, John. You really are. You know, like I shared with you before, man, you have grown exponentially, and man, it's all over you, and you're right. You know, Hebrews 1:11-1 says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So without faith, it's impossible to please God. And we sometimes forget our uniqueness, and we forget just how wonderful we are in actuality, because we're dealing with a negative society, and we deal with negative media, and it's oftentimes easy to get caught into the mundane of life and other people's attitudes and circumstances around us. And we forget that among almost 8 billion people on the planet, nobody has the same DNA. 8 billion people, nobody has the same fingerprint. Almost 8 billion people, nobody has the same retina. You are a masterpiece. You are uniquely, Psalms 139 and 14, I will praise the Lord, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And we got to remember that our faith is the servant of our life that bridges the gap. When we think about people, you know, I can testify about Master Jamil. I heard him saying about the house God just blessed him with, about the VP too. It's always in his mouth. He's always releasing the blessing. We talk almost every day, and he's always releasing the blessing. You've got to do it, John, and you've been doing it, and you're absolutely right. The dormant 97% of our DNA has been activated. I now have full access to the full potential of my DNA and full access to the full potential of my brain. John, we're walking through a whole new portal, and I want you to know, man, I've seen the transformation, the metamorphosis in your life, and I'm so proud of you, my brother. I'm so proud of you, man. Much love to you, man. I'm praying for all of y'all, and I'm proud of you, John. Proud of you, man.
It's an honor to know you, bro. Honestly, I'm thankful. Thankful for you.
It's my honor, John. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. John is a
I want to hear from somebody I haven't heard from.
Okay, let's bring Veronica.
We only have a couple of minutes left.
Veronica, I see your hand up. I'm going to go ahead and add you on the panel. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Welcome, Veronica.
Hey.
Hey, Veronica.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay. I wanted to say I've been all over the place today, and I was actually in traffic trying to listen to Mr. Michael Diamond. And I did hear your message, and I try not to miss your message every Thursday. Thank you, brother, for everything that you do for us. It's very motivating, and hey, it always makes me want to just go and, you know, do one more onboarding. So thank you so much. I've been doing a lot of onboards this week and last week, and also still working a 40-hour-a-week job. So until December, I'm claiming that that's going to be my last full-time job ever. So thanks to Hyperfund. So thank you for all your motivation, my brother. Just love to hear you speak. And I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you to Mansa, and thank you to Malik also.
Thank you so much, Veronica. You know, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of your energy. Thank you so much for your consistency, for your character. You know, consistency and persistency is the sandpaper that'll sand away any obstacle or any mountain in your life. And I just want you to know that I'm proud of you. I see your growth exponentially, and I'm standing in agreement with you that December will be the day that we're releasing the blessing, that December is the day that you fire your boss, that you work on your terms, and that you continue to release the blessing, because it will happen because you said it. Because death and life, Proverbs 18 and 21, death and life is in the power of the tongue. And you're speaking it, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So you will get the fruit from what you're saying. I'm standing in agreement with you. Matthew 18, 19, and 20, where 2 or more gather together. Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is in the midst of us, Yeshua, and that whatever we touch and agree on, that it shall come to pass. It's done on heaven and earth. So I'm celebrating that you're firing your boss. I'm celebrating exponential growth for you. I'm celebrating the fact that you are calling those things that be not as though they were in your life, Veronica. And I see the growth. And I just want you to know that it's super supportive to me. Master Jamil and I have talked about your success on occasion. I just want you to know he's proud of you. I'm proud of you. And it's just a privilege to be in relationship with you. And you just keep releasing the blessing and watch the miracles.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
So welcome.
So proud of you. So proud of you, Veronica. Stepping up,
Hey,
going
I'm
up to grow up. Let's go.
coming.
On your way. Guys, you know what? Guess what? I got a bonus just for you guys. Just for you guys. We are getting ready to activate something right now. All right. So this is what I want you to do. Go in the chat. Everyone who wants to participate, and put your last name in the chat. Okay? Put your last name in the chat. Go ahead. Let's go. Let's go. We're getting ready to do something special for you guys. We are getting ready to give away $100 in USDT. Okay? $100 in USDT just for showing up to grow up. Put your last name in the chat and let's go. If your name ain't in the chat, you won't be able to get your 100. Let's see, we got Young, we see Wilson, we see Johnson, Velmonte, Jenkins, Niken, Amir, Landry. Let's see who else. Romero put his name in there twice. Let's see who else we got. Is that it? All right, so those that's in the chat are going to be participating. If you're not in the chat, no feelings lost. Okay, guys? All right. Any more? Is that it? Last name in the chat. If you don't know where the chat is at, it should be next to, in between participants and share screen. All right, we got Clark. Last name is, okay, yep, we got Castro. First name J, last name Dog. You only can have one last name, John. You know? All right, so let's go. All right, guys, we're getting ready to do this. All right, let's do it. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go. Uh-oh. Let's see. Uh-oh. Looks like we got a winner. G. Do we have a G in the chat, guys? Let's see. Any G's? Did I miss a G or there's no G?
No G's.
No G's? Okay, let's do it again. One more time. If we hit a G again, then we're going to have to do it next time. Let's see. Show up to grow up. Let's go. Do we have a winner? Ooh. D it is. All right. Do we have any D's in here? I'm a real G, don't count.
No G's.
Let's see. No D's? Come on, we gotta have a D, right?
We got Mr. Diamonds.
Mr. Diamond!
Whoa!
Diamond's in the building.
Oh!
Diamond drops.
That's right.
All right, guys. Congratulations, Mr. Diamond.
Congratulations, Mr.
We're gonna give it
Diamond.
to you, Mr. Diamond. You didn't want it. Now you know what to do. Peace and abundance, guys. Showing up for Grow Up. We're gonna do this again next week. So invite your teams. bring your prospects, blockchain unification, get hyped, 10x your mindset, and let's do this thing, guys. Let's build up our mindset. Let's build up our community. Let's enhance the game plan, and let's focus on V5, and your life is going to change. Trust and believe it. So many people's lives are changing with this project that we're working on right now, guys. It's amazing. And really appreciate all you guys showing up to grow up, all the panelists showing up and giving up their 2 cents and the blessings that they're receiving from this amazing event that we do. Go ahead and speak it into existence, guys. We're going to see you guys at the top because you already know the bottom is way too crowded. Peace. Legends. Let's go.
AI Global Legends.